Hi everyone. I today was watching my old Shnuckatwo videos, and I was really inspired by my own videos and my own self. And I was just playing on random, I was just going through random videos that I had basically already forgotten about. I was just on a playlist, letting it play out. I was just listening to myself, and I was it was specifically the video I was talking about my old server. This first server I played on basically during COVID. And I just talked about how that server was so fun, and I was remembering that server. I'm like, wow, that server was really fun. And actually I went back, I made a video 4 years ago at this point almost, building this really cool redstone contraption I made up that you could put a diamond in and it would randomize your output to it was like a gambling machine for other people to use. And I went back and watched that video from 4 years ago, and I was like, wow, I was such a great kid, and I do think this often, and I think I at that point I was considering making a video was something oh, I peaked in high school, or oh, I liked myself as a kid so much better, right? And I've definitely thought these thoughts before. I think it's very fair, because thinking back to me as a kid, I think if I were to have tutor me as a kid, or just see him at a summer camp, I would love myself, I would have loved myself as a kid, if that makes sense. I genuinely think me in high school, honestly, or towards the end of high school too, I was a very great person, hopefully. Maybe it's a bit narcissistic to say this, but I think it's no problem to have a bit self-love, you know what I mean? And I think too often I always think that oh, that was me in the past, and that's completely gone now. I was so naive back then. That's why I can maintain such positivity, such happiness, and now this is the true me, exposed to the harsh weathers of the world, and I've matured and become almost, it's like those people think they're cool when they are nonchalant. I think it's kind of similar to that effect, oh, I'm older now, I've been weathered, when the truth is I think it's still very much within my ability to have the same positive mindset as I did back then. Sure, it might be a bit harder, but it's still in me, my creativity, my excitement for small things. Just I remember I was so excited to make videos on my channel. I was so excited to make that redstone contraption. That excitement is still there. I can still conjure it within myself. It's just that a lot of times I don't want to, and I don't, because I just feel maybe it is a lot harder to access it, but it's still accessible, is what I'm saying, if I really want to, And I didn't realize this until showering. I was honestly really dejected, because I'm home right now. I've been home for about a week. I'm about to go back to college tomorrow. And college is about to be over in 2 weeks this semester. I was really dejected. I'm okay, yet another semester down the drain, might as well just suffer it out, and then it'll be bad. But I'm wait, no. And I started thinking for once, very positively about all the possibilities for the future. In terms of how efficient I could be and I can be. Honestly, what's ahead of me, facing me, is not that difficult to accomplish. And I know that. But I just failed to recognize that so many times. I say this to myself so many times. You can see every single video where I'm really happy. Right? I'm oh, it's really easy. Honestly, this stuff I'm doing right now, maybe content-wise is not easier, but effort-wise, it's definitely easier than a lot of stuff I did in high school. I used to take notes for 5-6 hours straight, reading A-push textbooks. And sure, even then, by the end of the year, I stopped doing that, but still, I did it at one point, and that means I can still do it right now. Sure, I've changed a lot, but I think I still have, it's really hard to, I don't know, I can't have changed that much to, be a completely different person, So yeah, I mean, I was originally like taking all these thoughts about me at being young as the same old like, oh, wow, I would have loved myself as a kid. Oh, past me was so good, and it's so over for me now. Like, that's very pitiful. That's very like, oh, look at me, old weathered veteran of the world. Which is like, sure, younger me would be like, wow, so wise. Probably that's probably younger me would think. But at the same time, like, you know, the mindset of younger me was so good. Like, I understood so well that everything was within my control, and applied that mindset so well. And like, I feel it. Like, I in the shower when I was realizing all this, I could feel like, like when you get really excited about an idea or like about like something happening. I hadn't felt that in a while, right? And I felt excited about going back and actually having like, oh, I'm going to be really productive this, I'm going to be really productive that. For once, I was actually really optimistic. And I remember that feeling like I could conjure it so easily when I was younger. And I don't know, it was just like very, very, very refreshing. And it is so clear that everything is a mindset thing. It is, at the end of the day, my mind. Because, like, I can see it both ways. Like, I can still make myself dread going back, in one way. But at the same time, if I just take a few moments, I can make myself be excited for coming back. Like, even though it's 2 weeks, like, there's a lot that can happen in the 2 weeks. And, like, I can be productive. As long as I'm productive, it'll go fine. And I can feel myself wanting to go back to, I don't want to, But I can also push through it, And it's hard. It's hard going back to, like, regaining an old habit. It is an old habit. It is a relic from when I was younger. But it's not a non-recoverable relic. It's still there. It's not gone. Those videos about Prime, Kevin? The videos where I complain about how I've gotten so much less creative, how this, that. Old me is not gone. I don't think any of it is replaced. It's still there. Because it's like, you can still like just control your thoughts and like actions to be an old version of yourself. I think you never really lose it. Like, even adults can pretend to be a kid at times, and they'll basically be like how they were as a kid for a couple moments at least. So it's not gone, It's really not. At least I hope it's not. Because I really do have so many exciting. I am very excited for the future in so many ways. Like, I was just thinking, like, oh, wouldn't it be fun if I made, like, in order to, oh, why is my chest plate there? For my internship, right? For internship searching, what if I, like, made vlog detailing that? What if I made videos about, like, CS topics? I have thought about this for so long to motivate myself. Like, I have such great ideas. I have such creative ideas and such, like, great ways I can motivate myself. But then I don't know, half excuse myself by saying, like, oh, that was old me. Now I can't even execute that, when I can, I think. And I just gotta do it. And I think, like, part of me wants to leave it to next semester, too, right? Because, like, everyone likes to start goals cleanly at the, like, clear event markers throughout your life, but you can't do that either. You can't just make a New Year's resolution just because it's New Year's. You can set goals anytime. Don't wait to set a goal. I don't know. Like, the more I go back and forth between, like, these moments of, oh, wow, that is really nice. The base actually looks really nice. I hope we play on this world more, honestly. But the more I go back and forth between, like, super duper, I can do this, I'm excited to go back, and then just full out like, oh, I think everything is like out of my, like everything is so over. Like the more I just feel, I think like eventually I will stabilize at some point, right? Because at some point I'm gonna realize that, oh, okay, like this, I've been through this before, blah 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 blah, and eventually it's just gonna be like, okay, now this is what it is, and I guess that's a good thing. But yeah, I am very inspired by my past self. Not, not like jealous. Not like, oh, I can't be that anymore. But just very, very inspired. I was so positive. I look up to my past self in a sense, and that's good because like, I still can be my past self with so much more knowledge, of course, with so much more growth. But there's so many good parts about my past self that I should keep, and I will keep. I guess it kind of makes sense. Yeah. I don't know. I really don't know. That's all I really have for today, though. Yeah. I hope you guys enjoy. What else do I have to say? I thought I had a couple of more thoughts, but I guess not. You know, I was so able to just wake up every day and be so ready, so excited when I was younger. I think I can still do it now. I still can. I know I can. So I will. Alright. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Yeah. Part of me still doesn't want to go back, but part of me is also like, you got it. And I really hope I do. I really do. Okay. Thank you guys. Bye bye.